I'm doing a 7-day streak of creation. For those of you that are wondering what are my Learn to Create It classes, it's a manifestation class. And for those that don't understand the concept of manifestation, it's kind of like, it's a type of prayer where you kind of work as a co-creator with kind of using a little bit of your own divine power and mixing that with God's divine power to bring more good things into your life. More, some people would call it luck, some people would call it just tender mercies or serendipity, but it's actually a skill that you can hone. And we've gotten pretty good at it. So we decided to teach it and share it with others. This is day 2, but day 1 was yesterday, and that was Sarah's day, and she had a really cool manifestation happen because she's homeschooling, and so as part of her homeschooling, she has to have a little business. So for her business, she decided that she wanted to make, here, show them. She wanted to make these little grasshopper bugs out of forks and then sell them at our garage sale. That's this Saturday. So we went out and we bought a whole bunch of forks from Goodwill, and we bought the materials, but it ends up that we need a vise in order to hold the forks in place to bend them. We also kind of need somebody who knows what they're doing. And I have done everything in my power. I've asked the neighbors, I've asked everyone I could think of, I've asked in the community, at school, I've asked at church, all these different people to see if there was somebody who had a vise that could help Sarah out. And because we need help, because we tried it once and we ended up breaking off the grasshopper's legs. It came down to this morning, we were thinking about it and we said, you know, we've got to get this done because Saturday's only 3 days away, and if not, this is kind of a school project. It's really important. So when we're sitting in the car, I said, you know what, Sarah, we need to manifest this because us doing it on our own, just our faith by action, it's not happening. We need to start exercising some faith by power. So we did our steps in the car that we usually do, and we saw what we wanted. We wanted someone who was going to think it was a privilege and a blessing to help my Sarah make her bugs and do this project. And then we even saw a cuddly grandpa type that was helping her do it. And we sent our manifestation out, and then we took off, and I headed in to work. And as we were getting closer to work, I noticed down on my dashboard that my check engine light was on and that I needed to get an oil change done. So I wondered, I'm like, you know what, I wonder if there is a garage nearby my office and we can drop off the car and then we can go work for a couple hours and the oil change will be done and we'll come back and then we don't have to wait. So I Googled really quick and I found a garage just 2 blocks away. We went and we stopped at the garage, and it was really kind of grungy, like old, you know, your dad's kind of garage. It has kind of stuff all over, but it's so eclectic, and it's just, you know, the perfect man's man garage. And we met Mr. Ward. And he was this elderly man with 2 hearing aids who had the softest, most wonderful heart. And I asked him if he could do my oil change, and he said, yes, no problem, come on back later and it'll be all done. And something said, ask him if he has a vise. So I asked him if he had a vise, and he said, a vise? I have 4 vices. And I explained Sarah's project and what she wanted to do with her grasshoppers. And he said that he actually he had a whole full machine shop, and he actually made jewelry out of different types of metal. And I was like, really? And then he said, why don't you guys come back by around 4:30 after work, and I'll help her figure out how to make her little bugs. And I said, that would be wonderful. And so Sarah and I, we left the keys with Mr. Ward, and we went out the front door, and we were just happy and just full of such grateful hearts and such gratitude and thankfulness, and just amazed that in 20 minutes flat from the time we left the driveway to the time we got to my building, our manifestation had already come back with this wonderful cuddly little grandpa figure, in fact, who had multiple vices and was totally willing to help Sarah finish her business project. So that's one example of manifestation and how it works. So the adventure continues to see what day 2 will bring.